Lois Lane issue 8 sees the kiss of death blow her way into Lois's hotel room. Renee tries to wake the unconscious Lois up as the villain pulls a gun, ready to shoot her in the head. The villain tells Renee that she needs to be quiet since she is her dessert, and she still needs to finish the main course first. Renee throws a bottle at the villain, giving her a second to get up and dodge the villain's gunfire and kick the gun out of her hand, before kicking the villain out of the big hole she just blew into the room. Renee gives chase into the darkened room next door, finding her equipment that causes white noise to stop Superman from hearing all of this commotion, as well as the villain's creepy face mask. The villain launches from the shadows with her swords, attacking Renee and telling the detective that she didn't think it would work out between them, since she likes girls with an edge to them. Renee finds Molly's quips funny, telling her that she prefers a woman with a bit more meat on her bones. The two women fight through the destroyed hotel room, but the skull-faced villain ends up besting Renee. Before she can deliver the killing blow, however, Lois returns, shooting Molly in the shoulder before tossing the gun at Renee, but in the chaos, the kiss of death escapes. Lois checks on Molly's equipment, knowing the assassin did her homework and is quite the professional, which Renee knows means she'll try again, but it won't be for some time, since this operation took preparation. Lois also knows that she needs to tend to the bullet in her shoulder as well, talking to her unseen husband and telling him he doesn't need to drop whatever he is doing to come to her. Renee suggests that they look over the place for clues before the cops show up. Later, the cops do indeed show up, filling the hotel room as detectives Walker and Mackenzie question Lois and Renee about the skull-faced assassin, whom both women have never seen before. Renee questions the amount of cops who have shown up, wondering if they are there waiting for someone, making the detectives admit that they are. Suddenly, there is a rush of air and Lois excuses herself to her bedroom, where she reunites with her husband. Clark already knows the answer, but if Lois wants help, he will. Lois says that she and Renee can handle it, but if he wants to score some points, Chicago PD is waiting to get a look at him. Superman heads outside to the cheers and praise of the cops, all whom want autographs or photos. Superman meets with the detectives, introducing himself as Lois and Renee sneak away. Renee says that this is like the time she worked backstage at a Bowie concert, only this is that on steroids. Later on, after Superman leaves, the detectives tell Lois that they will keep her appraised of the situation. Renee thinks that Superman has already caught the kiss of death, and Lois doesn't want to make that bet since Renee will lose, since she told Superman not to intervene. Soon there is a knock at the door and it is Mr. Slayton, the day manager of the hotel. He looks over the damage the assassin caused, telling Lois that she can't possibly remain in this room, not hearing any of Lois's objections, and telling her that the Drake Hotel owe her an apology. Renee asks him about Molly, but learns she just started. Lois wonders about Alejandra Ortiz, the original maid who was servicing her room for months, and what happened to her, but Mr. Slayton says he doesn't know since she never showed up for work. Lois and Renee track down where Mrs. Ortiz lives, and Renee says that she will handle this, since this is her type of neighborhood. Lois hangs around outside, noticing some things about the people, but when Renee returns, she learns that no one was home. Lois doesn't want to ask the neighbors anything, since she knows Alejandra's gone. She tells Renee to look around, and the detective realizes that the street has been raided by ICE. Renee knows this is how the kiss cleared Alejandra out of the way, and Lois agrees, knowing they need to find her now. In Wolverhampton, England, Sister Clarice is told to leave the building since it's closing for the night. The doctor locks Jessica Midnight's room, and as he does, he sees Sister Clarice is still in the room, saying that she may have hit her head and lost her nun robes. The doctor realizes that the nun he let go wasn't Clarice at all, but it was Jessica, who escapes to Birmingham International Airport, where she ditches the nun's robes and passes through security, where she intends to board a flight to Chicago. Lois Lane issue 8 enters the series into its home stretch as Lois and Renee battle a strange magical assassin while also dealing with more run-of-the-mill reporter duties. I really love the balance in terms of fantastical stuff like magic assassins and Lois running down leads and trying to crack open a story which continues to be very topical and relevant. The drop-ins by Superman have also been really fun throughout the series, and I'm enjoying Greg Rucka exploring new territory with his and Lois's both personal and working relationship. It's quite unique and something I'd really like to see continue after the series. I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10.